This is the nature of everything. Don't stay stuck.
All right, so here's a word that almost made us want to skip this episode. You want to skip this episode. It's just trite and overdone. And that word is gratitude.
Yeah, it's certainly just one of those that's been dressed up just way too many times. And yeah, I don't know, it's stamped on mugs and you got stitching on throw pillows that say gratitude. And, it's just used every way possible. Inspirational Instagram captions. I mean, you name it. It's everywhere.
But the kind that we're going to talk about today, it doesn't fit on a mug. I mean, it's the kind that shows up after some pain,
Yep.
after a decision that you made alone, after
Mhm.
something cost you, maybe cost you everything.
This isn't about writing down those three magical things before bed. I mean, it's really about what you carry in your body. It's
Mm.
about that wound that you've wrapped yourself around and it's wrapped around you. And no matter what, it's still chosen to stay. You've chosen to stay. It's chosen to stay.
If you've ever told yourself, I should be grateful, but then you still feel restless or unsatisfied or more often even guilty for wanting more.
Look, you're not confused. You just really are just standing at the edge of something heavier. It's much heavier than that.
So let's draw the line right here. Thankfulness, it's reactive. It's maybe momentary. It's what happens when somebody hands you a cup of coffee or they compliment your kid. Like it's real, but it's light and it
Mhm.
probably doesn't change you.
Absolutely, because gratitude is different than that. It's much different than that. It's integrated into the you. I mean, into all the layers of your nervous system. I mean, it shows up like you said when it costs you something. It stretches you. I don't know. It even roots you in a way that you probably didn't even ask for.
Yeah, you probably didn't. But look, there's also science behind it. Thankfulness, that quick, oh, thanks, man. That reaction, it comes from the brain's left hemisphere. It's about logic and language and simple recognition.
Yeah, but deep gratitude that we're talking about now, that activates that limbic system, the emotional center of your brain. Like it gets into your body, into your memory, into who you are. Like studies show that long-term gratitude practices, that it lights up areas tied to things like empathy and motivation and even your physical resilience.
You're not crazy for not feeling grateful when you just write down that list of good things. Well, here's one, two, three. I'm grateful for the air I breathe. And it's like you're not crazy for not feeling grateful. You're just not giving your body enough time to believe it, to
Yeah.
integrate like physiologically.
You're 100% right. Like gratitude isn't a list. It's this layer. I don't know. It's like compounding. It accumulates. It stacks. Like the more you walk through this, the more you are capable, and you decide not to numb out, not to ignore it. Like you decide to recognize what is stacking and building for you.
Yeah, and look, Napoleon Hill, he talks about this in kind of a different context. He calls that process sort of auto suggestion. The idea that you don't wait around to feel anything like, gratitude or faith or whatever. You teach your mind to believe it by repeating the truth, even when you don't feel it yet.
The same thing applies here. And gratitude, the way we're talking about it, it isn't something that just shows up to rescue you. It's something you build by returning to wreckage. I mean, if you return to that wreckage again and again, and you say like, "Hey, I did this. I lived through this, or I survived this, or I beat this, or whatever. I chose to be here, and I stayed, and I did this."
Yeah, and you say it until it sticks. You
Yes.
say it until your body remembers, and it's not just saying it; it's remembering it. It's giving it a moment, so that your body can remember it. That thing that tried to break you didn't.
Yeah, it didn't. So with that, one day out of nowhere, that list that you've been writing, maybe the list does matter and it doesn't just sound good. If maybe finally, as you continue that, it feels true. It becomes true. That's where you live that out.
Yeah, which is why we're not here to help you feel better. We're here to name what's already true so that you can finally feel it.
Realistically, we talk a lot about how hard it is to feel grateful, but I think sometimes the issue isn't that we don't feel it. I think we feel it. It's that when we know that it's present, it's like we want to cut that away from ourselves. It's like we don't let ourselves feel it, even though we know it's present.
Yeah. We hold it at arm's length because we convince ourselves at least that we don't deserve it. Like, well, other people, they have it worse. Who am I to feel anything about this?
It's a strange morality math problem, you know, like
Yeah, it is.
like realistically no one's holding some global justice scale by which you have to stay compared to, and realistically like your pain doesn't weigh in enough. I don't know, it's kind of like you hold yourself prisoner to some self honor that you can't have.
That's exactly what I did after my acoustic neuroma surgery. I mean, it was 20 years ago now. They got the tumor, but you know what? There was some nerve damage. My smile's different ever since. I mean, we could argue is it broken, but it's not what it was.
Sure, yeah, not broken, definitely different. Look, I mean, I get it, I know it, like that's something that you skipped over emotionally for quite some time.
I mean, totally. I moved on physically, but I never really named it. In my head, I'm like, come on, Bo. And people get blown up, tortured,
Sure,
they
sure.
starve, and you're going to make this a thing? So I
Uh,
just minimized it. I buried it.
yeah. How does that turn out? What's the result of that then?
Well, I mean, honestly, it kept me from feeling proud. It kept me from grieving that moment. I
Mm,
didn't allow myself to actually own the weight of it because I
mm.
was too busy comparing it to somebody else's tragedy. And here's the wild part, it's only been in the last year or two that I've started to let myself feel the gratitude, not the thankfulness, but that real kind, gratitude, heavy stuff, the kind that says, you know what, that changed me. That was hard, brutally hard. And
Sure.
yet I made it through. And I can be grateful for that.
Look, I mean, and realistically, like there's a gap or a delay between the survival of what you're talking about, like getting through it, and then what you're talking about is this idea of integrating that into your layers and making that part of it. But like, yes, you've healed. You have healed. But I mean, I know what you're saying. I know that the gratitude concerning that has taken every bit of that 20 years to come around and be part of the journey that I've seen.
Because I had to stop disqualifying myself first. And that's what I think a lot of people do without realizing it. And it doesn't have to be as big as a brain tumor, right?
Sure.
Like they're standing in their wreckage, something that they survived. But because somebody else's wreckage looks worse, they walk away from it and kind of minimize it.
And to your point, like it's not like doing that makes you somehow virtuous. And again, it's still not a comparison, but it's not necessary to remove yourself from that. That doesn't buy you a glory either. Like it's almost ghosting yourself in your own story. And that what an odd sense that has to be.
Yeah. And right now I'm thinking of like, that photo in Back to the Future where Marty McFly is just vanishing. I
Slowly
mean,
disappearing.
yes, that's what it could feel like.
Mhm.
Because
Sure.
honestly, you can't feel real gratitude for a life that you're disappearing from, that you're apologizing for.
Mm. Yeah. Wow. And to that, it until you stop comparing your pain to the entire world pain, you're never going to experience anything that remotely allows you to feel okay. Like if you're stuck in there, you don't get to experience your own worth.
It's just where everything gets lost because gratitude is not a contest, you know, like
Right?
who's got more, who had it
Mm.
worse.
Hmm.
It's a witness. Like that's
Sure.
what we're saying. It's what shows up when you finally let your story be enough. Then you can feel gratitude.
You also don't owe anybody like a dramatic aha turnaround moment. Like you don't owe that to anybody either.
Yeah. And I'll say this just to keep it real. Like there are still things in my life that I haven't gotten there with. things that I've lived through, but I still hold it a distance, not because I'm ungrateful, not because I haven't thought about it. It's just because I haven't figured out how to stop disqualifying it yet.
Mm, like disqualifying yourself?
Totally. Like, oh, well, that's not a big deal. Or look at how other deals are bigger than that. Like I keep doing it.
To that end, do you get to recognize at this point that it's not a failure piece? That's just a gap that you get to close. Is that something that works at this point?
Because I worked through it once, at least
Mm,
once. Like I can say, like, okay, it can take some time. And that's kind of the thing about this coin idea that we talk about is that the acronym, that's quick and easy. Confirm and own it, be intentional, changing the nature of everything. What nobody really stops to think about is that process could take 20 years,
mm,
right? And look,
yeah.
I don't want to pretend that I've nailed it. I just know now that gratitude isn't something you can force. It's just something that maybe you finally stop pushing away.
Quick breather. Okay, look, if you've been tracking with this and you're thinking, yeah, this is the kind of conversation I want more of. Like, I'm
Yeah.
into this. Come on now. Like, there's a few ways to stay in this with us.
Yeah. Like we think that you should start with a book. Well, we don't think that. That's where to start with the book. So go to coinyourlife.com and that's where you're going to find it. It's not just some theory. It's the next step if you're ready to name what's keeping you stuck.
Also, follow us on all the socials. Search Coin Your Life and hook up with us. Let's do this.
Look, and if this episode, hits something for you, like follow the show, leave a review. It helps us, and we'd like to put these messages out as far as they can go, or send it to somebody who needs it. That's how we grow. It's not through strategy, it's through honesty.
Absolutely. All right, let's get back into it. So let's talk about the trap, because even if you've survived something, even if you made your way through that, even if you built something, there's still this weird guilt that can often creep in. That creeps in when you still want more.
I mean, because you're like, who am I to be dissatisfied? And the messaging around it doesn't help. You scroll through social media and all you see is the content that says the crap like, gratitude turns what you have into enough. Like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's like society has chosen to weaponize the word gratitude, and I don't know. It's like here's your guiltitude moment. So let's put guiltitude on a mug and see how that feels.
Yeah, guiltitude. That's terrible. But you know what? It's totally true.
Yeah,
It's that
sure.
version of gratitude. It's not about connection. It's about compliance. Be grateful so you don't rock the boat. Be grateful so that you'll stop reaching. No, that's crap.
Yeah, get in line, because this is your performance. You shall do. And
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, it feels like that's where we lose the realness of gratitude. I'm not trying to be overly poetic, but it's like changing and taking a sacred process and turning it into like a gross performance.
That causes us maybe to like lose our hunger. But what if the hunger is healthy? What if your body's telling you like, hey, we're not done yet?
Absolutely. So, what if the presence of that desire to want more, your true nature to say, I want more than what this is, like despite all of this stuff, like despite all of the gravity of all of this that I've been through, like I still want more, and I get more, and that desire, it also doesn't cancel out the presence of your gratitude.
And look, that's the thing. We're told that wanting more means that you must be ungrateful. But
Mm.
again, that's thankful, right? The real gratitude, it doesn't flatten you, it frames you, it gives context, it doesn't erase your ambition, it roots it.
And who the hell is your coffee mug to think it's going to tell you otherwise? I mean, you
Screw
tell
that
that
mug,
coffee mug
man.
with, yeah, because I mean, to your point, like the irony of it is that, like, when we shame ourselves for wanting more, it's not like we become more grateful because of that. It's almost like we box ourselves in further and become more withdrawn or repressed or whatever words you want to use. But it's not like that helps us bloom in our gratitude when we shame ourselves for it.
Yeah, and been there, lived that 20 years, we said. Like
That's fair.
it numbs you out. We
Mm,
force ourselves to feel grateful enough and to the point that we feel nothing at all.
mm, yeah. Well, that really is the trap. Numbness and apathy. What a trap that is. And to get stuck there, somehow making an outside appearance that you're grateful instead of like feeling it. I
Yeah.
mean, what a nasty place.
I mean, anytime you have a feeling that becomes a performance,
Mm,
it just kind of screws everything up. Really, you can't access real gratitude if you're stuck in performance mode. So look, if it's not guilt, if it's not gladness or thankfulness, if it's not the manners or the lists, what could we define? I mean, what do we say is real gratitude?
I would say gratitude is equivalent to memory. I
Okay.
would say gratitude's all it's like the echo of every time you stuck it out, every time you took those scars on, every time that you stood in that gap, every brain tumor that has been survived, that is the memory that equates to gratitude. It would have been easier to numb yourself out and believe that it's not happening, not be real, not name it, not have the confirmation piece, and not own your moment in this to intentionally buck up and stand in that gap and beat this and survive your brain surgery and survive the maladies that came with that and the effects that came with that. It'd been easier to run, and it damn sure would have been easier to run from what it took you to build back.
I mean, even in this podcast where we're saying you got to feel grateful, don't perform, don't do this, don't numb out. You say that, and gosh, I want to push it away. I just want to go
Mm,
like, nah, nah. That guy got blown up. Forget me. Like
mm,
this is
mm-hmm.
small potatoes over here.
Sure.
But I mean, maybe it comes down to I don't think I've ever asked myself this before, but if it's kind of like gratitude is arriving at a place where, maybe you would say I'd do it again. Jeez. I
Mm,
mean, like, I don't know. Would I do it again? I,
mm.
I,
Uh,
maybe I want to end up right here, right now. And the only way to do it is to do it again. Well, that's
mm.
messy.
It is messy and it's not clean and it has scars and it smells scarred and it smells smoky and hurt. Like that's the kind of stuff that doesn't show up with party balloons and confetti. It does show up, however, with your true presence. You know it. You've been there and it shows up because you're present.
Well, I mean, real gratitude, it's not about forcing a good feeling because honestly, none of this feels good. None of that story
Mm-mm,
feels good to me.
mm-mm,
But maybe
mm-mm.
it is about growing into where you can tell the truth that what you paid, that it meant something.
You know what the crazy part of this, like I know you to know enough to say that has not erased your desire. I do know you to be deeply grateful. There's no doubt of it, but I also know you to still want more. You do love your life and you should love your life, and you also long for the next steps, and that is the outward expression of your inward understanding of what gratitude looks like. Like you do have gratitude on the inside and you can tell it from the outside because of what you show.
I do agree that you can love your life and still want more. I
Mhm.
mean,
Mhm.
it's like that tension is how you know it's real. Like you're alive. I
Mhm.
mean, you're processing, you're working through these things. They're all messy. None of it demands perfection. I think it's just asking you to witness what you've been through. Stop walking away from it. See what you can do with it.
And to that end, I mean, maybe that's why the decaf light version of gratitude, it doesn't really get all of it there. It doesn't work to that end because it kind of skips the hard part. It kind of skips the wounds and the scars. It's almost like it wants the fruit without having to grow the tree. I don't know if we're talking about gratitude being the equivalent of how memory works and it's the echo of the experience. You can't have feeling without a history that goes with that feeling.
And I think that's where we shine the light on the difference between gratitude and thankfulness, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Not everything has the gravity that should be gratitude,
Right.
but that's the kind we're talking about today, right? The heavy gratitude, the
Mm-hmm.
kind that's made out of the late nights and out of stupid, awkward silence, but
Mm-hmm.
then also out of your second wind and like out of all the times that you almost quit, but you still, showed up.
Yeah. I mean, gratitude, it's not a mood. Again, it's the memory. It's the memory of what you paid, right?
Yeah, and you know what I think happens? Like we don't feel grateful because we often don't stop long enough to just name it.
Mm.
Name what really happened, process what happened. We just when I say we, I mean me. me
Sure,
just
of
keep
course.
me just keep moving. we
me,
just
me
we
are
just keep
moving.
moving. Yes, we achieve and we survive and we rebuild, but maybe we never sit down and really give that one chapter the time to really grow that gratitude within us.
It's almost like society has been forced to believe that that's that's the right way. That's the only adult way. And I have, you can't see me right now, but there's air quotes that I'm air quoting adult. The adult way, the mature way is to basically just throw dirt on it, suck it up. That was hard. It's over. But I mean, that's missing the point. Like that is missing the fact that your growth through journey, your experiences, those are parts of you, and those are your layers. Like, just to say that it was hard and I'm just gonna move on, like,
In it. I mean, but
yeah,
we have to
it.
name it. What
Mm,
is that it? Oh, it was
right,
hard. What is it? You can't
right,
feel it if you don't name it. And gratitude, it's not going to show up just because your life looks good on paper. It's going to show
yeah.
up when you give your own story the dignity of that attention.
And we don't. We just don't. We feel like we're obligated to downplay it. And for somehow we're supposed to just take the rough spots and file it away. But like, because like you said, somebody else had it worse on the sliding scale of comparison. Like, okay, well, they had it worse, so mine just doesn't matter. Or the real fallacy of thinking that we're weak because we consider those past experiences. It's not weak. It's not that you're living in the, I'm not talking about living in the past, but I'm talking about it's not weak to own your experiences and to utilize those appropriately.
Because I mean, if you don't, that's just avoidance. I would offer that that's what creates the gap, the space between having an experience and actually sort of feeling it and using what you've learned. Getting the coin from that experience.
Yeah, it's almost like we hold ourselves to this idea that we build our life. You're supposed to build your life, and but for some reason we feel like we have to build this life. But don't you dare live in it emotionally. Like, how dare you have some emotions about this life that you're supposed to intentionally build for yourself and own the aspects of your experiences. But no, 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 no. We're not gonna have any emotions about it. Okay.
Yeah, don't be putting a vase on the shelf, okay? You don't live here.
We'll have none of that. Don't decorate your home.
Yeah, you can't be grateful for something that you don't even slow down to see if you don't put the vase on the shelf.
And so, look, if you're listening and thinking, why don't I feel more grateful? Maybe the better question is this: what part of my story, what part of this life that I'm building, have I never let myself sit in and experience emotionally and appropriately, and allow myself the honor of being me in the life that I've built for me?
Man, that's good. Because gratitude, it's never going to chase you down.
Mm.
It's just going to sit there until you stop moving and notice the price that you paid.
I'm just going to say it. Don't go write a gratitude list. Don't do it. Not yet.
Screw that list.
Not, well, don't screw that list forever. But not yet. Like, just don't hear this podcast and go, you know what? I'm going to write a gratitude list. No, 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 no. Put your
Mm-mm.
gratitude mug down for just a bit. Like, think about it. Like, what's something that you did make it through? Don't compare it. What is it that you went through? What is it that you've experienced, but you never named it? You never allowed yourself to get into it. Something that you've minimized, things that you've skipped over, not because it wasn't hard. You know it was hard. You were there while it was hard. So
Mm,
don't dismiss it. Not because it wasn't hard, but because you didn't think you had the right to call it heavy.
mm.
You've allowed society to obligate you outside of feeling what you know had gravity to you.
Yeah, give that 5 minutes, and
Hmm.
don't try to fix it. Don't try to even reframe it. Just feel it. The version of you who got through it, like that person, they deserve to be seen.
100%. And then ask yourself, would I still choose it? Would I still choose that boat? Bo, you said earlier, like, and that's why I'm throwing this in. Like you said you'd still probably do it again.
Yeah, I think I might have to.
Yeah. So I say for all of us out here, like ask ourselves, what would I still choose? What would I still, knowing what it cost, would you still do it? And if you would, then that's the start of real gratitude. Not the pretty kind, not that gentle kind, not the decaf kind, not that performance style kind that we were talking about. I'm talking about the kind that walks with a limp, the kind that the smile's different, the kind that smells like fire, the kind that smells like soot and memory and truth. And you know what? I get it. If you're not there yet, that's cool too. It's fine. It's fine to not be there yet because even asking the question puts you back in the story where you belong.
Yeah, and sometimes that question, it doesn't feel good, but it's honest. And you might just have to wait around for 20 years.
Hmm,
One more thing. Like, we talk about moving from thankfulness into gratitude. I mean, this podcast, Coin, and like this very conversation, that's one of those places for us.
for sure. We're not just thankful that people listen. We are grateful that we get to wrestle with this stuff out loud. We get to name it in front of an audience. I mean, not here for the you're not here for the polished version, right? This is we get to name this stuff out loud.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that you show up like week after week, and think through this stuff with us, like that's not lost on us.
No, it's rare. Even in a world that is moving at light speed towards this type of stuff with podcast and it's still rare. It's rare and it's super real. It truly means more than we could ever convey to you guys.
Before you go, just know it's time. Time to connect. Time to change the nature of everything. Find us at coinyourlife.com and don't stay stuck.